Two of them now. Good morning. Welcome to MacBean Scottish Fitness and Farms Prepping and Wildlife Garden. We had a lot of rain last night, so we don't think we had a problem with the frost. So all the potatoes are harvested. Tomatoes, probably pretty close to being done. I'm wondering if I can put that one in a 5-gallon bucket and bring it in the house. I do have an extra bucket. So since I have an extra bucket, we might try it. Now, temperature reading 73. That one I can kind of believe. I think that'll be my project for tomorrow. So you can see everything inside here is doing really well. And I gave them a watering yesterday. So, next stop, let's go to the garden. So, a lot of things going on in the world that could affect us here at home. There's bees. Moving pretty quick from flower to flower. So everybody make sure that you're careful about what's going on out there. As usual, well, I got a lot of these bees. They're not honeybees, but got a bunch of them. As there are certain factions that are calling for violence worldwide toward a certain group of people. And I guess Friday is the day they're calling, which could just be a way of getting security ramped up for a few days and then allow them to relax. But if you're out and about, make sure you have some sort of security. And if you do have systems set up at home, now would be a good time to do inventory and kind of make sure everything is in proper working order, clean, and positioned strategically, so to speak. This weekend I will have a few discussions and drills with the wife on this subject. And these are things you need to do if you want to be prepared. You need to practice what you think might happen. It's not being paranoid. There are true threats out there, and you cannot take them lightly. Now, a chance that the threat will come out here, very, very unlikely. But it's not zero. You never know, but obviously big cities, large gatherings, concerts, shopping malls, churches, synagogues. Those would be the places I would be concerned, which always was something that confused me a few years back. When I say a few years back, it was probably more than 5. When we had some violence towards the churches happening. So it was probably more than 5 years ago. We had a priest who, well, let's just say he didn't like guns. And he did a sermon about he didn't want anybody concealed carrying a gun in church. And that, he had read somebody says that they were going to do that, and he was all against it. It looks like we got some crows there. Now, let's see before they take off. And I was just thinking, if somebody did attack the church, he would be totally helpless and unable to do anything about it. There's actually a part of the Mass where the priest cannot stop what he's doing. We had an altar boy pass out, and so we had to go and tend to aid because he was in that portion. So what are you going to do, You can be in that portion while your congregation is getting slaughtered because you told them that they shouldn't bring their right to defend. People are going to say, well, there's no reason to have a gun in church. Well, a long time ago there wasn't. Now it seems to be a target. Gun zones, gun-free zones are not. It's an oxymoron. If somebody wants to do evil, they are going to take a gun anywhere, regardless of what the signs say. So putting one of those signs up, the only thing you're doing is making the lawful citizen vulnerable. It's the only thing you're doing. I don't know the incredible idiot that came up with this idea of a gun-free zone. Now, are there areas where you want to probably restrict the usage? Yeah. You can see a courthouse, because you have people there who are, police and bailiffs and stuff like that to provide security. And obviously if somebody's going to get sent to prison for life, you might not want them to have a weapon. But when you're thinking about where you have large gatherings, and people going, oh, it'd be like the Wild Wild West. Well, first of all, the West wasn't wild. All right. There wasn't nearly as much action going on in the West as the books like to portray. Remember, they're writing a book, so you'll read it. Have a clue, people. And probably where the most violence took place was the ones that were restricting guns. Because obviously, criminal don't care. Only the law-abiding will. So, I'm not telling you that this is what you should do, but if you're going to be in any place of a large gathering, church, synagogue, you may want to take precautions. Where those precautions should be. And I'll get back on my subject from yesterday, and I'm going to post that one here before I post this one up. But America, you need to wake up. You need to understand what the media and the political powers are trying to do. Okay, so we're going to go on the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was put there solely to protect the people from its government. Let me repeat this. It was brought up to protect the people, we the people, from the government. It was not about hunting. It was not about sport shooting. It was not about trap shooting. It was about defense of your home against all threats, foreign and domestic. Domestic meaning your government, gangbangers, criminals, people who wish to do harm. People are allowed to do harm. How can they be arrested 14 times for violent crime and be back out in the street? Sounds a little suspicious to me. So what do they try to sell? Ooh, This thing is dangerous. This is the root of all evil. You don't need to have this. No, the whole idea is if they are against you having it, you need to have it. You really need to have it. And if you keep voting for these gun-grabbing Democrats, that's what's going to happen to you. You know, people get online, oh, they're not after your guns. Yes, they are. They are exactly after your guns. And those are just blind sheep following their Democratic masters. That's what they're doing. So the media backs it up. If there is an incident where a good guy with a gun or a good gal with a gun takes out the bad guy, it's mentioned, it's one and done. It's mentioned maybe once briefly, you know, not very well advertised, and then it's done. But then you get some sick person who planned it for months, gave many clues online, and they did nothing, and even been arrested and legally couldn't own the thing. Well, then it's plastered all over the place, and then when something comes out about it which doesn't fit their narrative, poof, it's gone. Wake up, people. They're playing you. Don't let them do that. If you vote Democrat, you are saying it's okay for the government to come in and take your guns, impose mask mandates, impose vaccine mandates, and in times of need, they will come in and take more than your guns. They will take your food, they will take your metals, they will take everything, and you will do nothing because you are a good little sheep. This upsets you. Good. It should. And you should research it. You should see what happened in other countries where this has happened. And it's not the utopia that they think they are. See what New Zealand did during the pandemic. What they did to their populace. It's criminal. They tried to justify it over something that literally killed less than the flu. So, I don't like to get on the political side, but we're coming up to an election that's going to really dictate the direction of this country. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's going to dictate it. And if you vote these clowns in again, I don't understand it. I don't understand how the squad keeps getting voted in. It's people not paying attention. That's all there's to it. You're not paying attention. I know a couple of the creators that are trying to wake people up are getting frustrated at this point. They still get comments. Oh, you're wrong. Everything's fine. Well, folks, is life still going on? Yes, life is still going on. Is everything fine? No, it's not. Everything is not fine. All right, we're sitting on a powder keg. And eventually it's going to go. How bad it's going to be, I don't know. When it's going to happen, I don't know that either. But it's going to happen. It's not climate change, which is going to demise of America. It's going to be the people accepting piss poor leadership. People accepting the propaganda they're throwing out there and falling for it. And people not taking a stand saying, you know, you crossed the line, this is wrong. Okay? We're going to stop making rules to appease a small percentage of deviants. We're going to stop doing that. You need to. All right? They have the same rights we have. That's all they need. There's no more. You know, you got to stop worrying about, well, it might offend somebody. Offending some people. Because the enemies out there are not like us. They don't raise our kids like us. All right, they're not teaching their kids gender identity in grade school. All right, they're teaching kids hatred of Western culture. They're teaching them how to kill, how to make bombs. In other countries, they're teaching them math, science, home economics. They're teaching them usable things. Not worried about gender identity, or the colors of the rainbow and any of the other that stuff that a child doesn't have to have anything to do with. Absolutely nothing to do with. Stop trying. So I don't understand why people vote Democrat. I mean, I was in the Knights of Columbus. It's an organization of the Catholic Church, and one of the main things, whether you believe it or not, which side of the fence you're on this issue or not, but is, protection of the child in the womb. Here we're doing our breakfast. Got one of the guys, as a member, and he's up with breakfast and that. And he's bragging he voted for Clinton. Okay, well, I'm confused. All right, why didn't you even vote for a Democrat? Well, I always vote Democrat. I said, well, what do they kind of push? They push abortion. All right, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, I don't care. All right, I'm pro-life. Be what you want to be, I don't care. But if you belong to an organization that states I'm pro-life and you vote for somebody who's not, I'm confused. At what point do you have any values? Where does it start? And to me, it's like if you're in school and you walk into school and some kid punches you in the face and laughs at you, and then during lunch period you sit down with them and you buy them lunch. I don't know, what kind of idiot are you? So if you believe in the sanctity of life, why would you vote Democrat? If you believe that the Second Amendment is as important as the First Amendment, why would you vote Democrat? Play on words here. If you believe women should compete with women, and men should compete with men, regardless how they want to identify, like make believe any way you want, I don't care. But just because you kind of suck in male sports doesn't give you the right to sit there and take opportunities from females in their sports. It ain't right. I don't care what you say, it's not right. And then thinking it's okay for you to go in their bathroom and to be in their locker room, you're nuts. Ain't no damn way. FedEx guy was just blasting through those puddles, and you'd have splashed me. We would have been having a conversation next time he delivered something. And that's why I stopped, so I wouldn't be where the water was. So, if you believe in life starts at conception, you shouldn't be voting Democrat. Anytime you vote Republican, vote Independent. Vote Green Party, Tea Party, whatever. But you should vote your beliefs. Or why have them? Why even state that you have any beliefs if you're not going to back it up with your vote? And if you don't think these idiots like Beto O'Rourke and Joe Biden, the very few times he actually understands where the hell he is, and all these other Democratic politicians have been in there for decades. They're not after your guns? Of course they're after your guns. You having that mislabeled weapon that they keep talking about threatens their ability to enforce their rules over you. It ain't about safety. You want safety? Train your populace to conceal carry. Let them carry in church. Arm some teachers. Hire some veterans to provide security for the schools. Metal detectors. Why? They have them at the airport where you fly. So why wouldn't you want them where your kids go to school? Put reinforced doors and windows in there so they can't sit there and shoot their way in. I'm a girl, I'm a guy, I'm a girl, I'm a guy, I don't know what I am. I just went and killed a bunch of kids. And the media covered it at first until, oh, wait a minute. Here's something that came out we don't want to throw out there anymore. So we're just going to stop talking about that portion. I mean, come on, people, get a clue. It's right out there. It's so blatantly obvious. I don't understand it. I mean, it's right out there in your face, and you don't see it. It just confuses me how people still support these things and try to say, "Oh, that's not what they meant." That's exactly what they meant. Those gender confused people or the male cheaters, just have them do their own, thing as other. We had that in our powerlifting. You had other. All right. You may have been too heavy for the weight classes, and that's what you did. Or you do it open. But this going in there and being a male, and I don't care what blockers you on or what happened, it don't matter. You're at an advantage. And the only reason you're doing it is because you sucked competing against other males. Being ranked 250 and then going to number one in a female class. I mean, just how stupid are you to think that's okay? How stupid is those college professors? Really, have just lost pretty much all respect for them. They're just trying to sell propaganda. I just think they just want to know, gee, I wonder what bullshit we can tell the kids and they'll believe it. I can't believe some of this stuff we got them believing. I really do. High school and college kids are listening to some people who are not trying to do you any good. They're just trying to program you. I think they're doing it just to see they can. Some people do something just to prove they can do it. And you get a couple generations of these college professors. After a while, they forget why they're doing it. They're thinking they're doing the right thing. They're not. And some of the action they have taken is criminal. At least. Immoral, probably. I see these people freaking out because you have, Candace Owens out there speaking pregnant and trying, you're causing people to commit suicide. No, you are not. Jeez. Who fed them that? And how did they fall for it? Then you've got therapists and that, using, you have to be your authentic self. Authentic self, what a bullshit word. I have never heard such a bullshit word in my life. And to me, it's what a therapist uses when they ain't got nothing. They're just trying to keep a patient happy so they can keep collecting a paycheck. Authentic self. What was your authentic self when you were 12, when you were 14, when you were 16, when you were 18, when you were 21, when you were 28, 30, 40? It wasn't the same thing. Falling for that. I don't know, I just thought some people were smarter than that. major rant because major shit's hitting the fan, right? A lot of distractions out there. Got the Ukraine war, also everybody on Twitter/X's got the Ukrainian flags on there. And you had that huge fire in Maui. I didn't see the Hawaiian flags on there. Confusing about that. Now you got a war over there in Israel. And I don't care which side you're on. Killing, raping, and beheading, and burning babies and children and women is evil. I don't care what you got to say. Sick individuals supporting that. Probably not going to get monetized on this one. I'll miss out on my 25 cents. What I find most people are in the fitness industry are usually a little bit more awake because they are obviously doing things to better their health and nutrition, so they are eating enough protein a day to think straight. It's one thing I always stressed, 90 grams of protein a day just for brain health. I remember Reverend Moon had his Moonies, and they'd recruit them from, you guessed it, college campuses. You know, it was so bad parents would have to go and kidnap their own children and deprogram out of this stuff. First thing they would do, get them on a vegetarian diet, low protein. Why? When your brain is not healthy, you are very susceptible to suggestions. For brainwashing. That's why they did it. Now, it's not the Moonies, it's the alphabet crowd trying to recruit kids. And then you have teachers and administration trying to keep the parents out of it. So once again, you're almost having to kidnap your kids again to deprogram them. Let me ask you, my kids were college age now, I would not let them go to college. Or I'd have to go with them and sit in the classroom. Because they're not teaching. Classes there to teach ideologies. And that's not what college is for. So once again, I hope you do some research, people. Hope you realize that although no political party is good, there's one out there that's not in your best interest. Trying to buy your votes, trying to bring people in. Oh yeah, suddenly now they're going to close the border. Why? Well, gee, we got nothing but fighting age males from countries who hate us coming in. Duh, I wonder what that's about. Administration has been so, I can't say irresponsible because I think it's what they want. I think it's their goal. So I just hope when election time comes around next year, everybody wakes up. And get all these people that have been in there for 4 decades. You need to get them out of office. They're not in there for you, they're in there for their sponsors. You know, they make $174,000 a year, and they are multi-millionaires. I ain't talking about 2 or 3 million, I'm talking 10, 15, 100 million. How'd that happen? Get a clue. All right, I vented. I don't do off of these, but it was in the coming. Got that off my chest. Got myself exercise, got the blood moving. I had a good nutritious shake this morning. Now I want to cook some bacon and potatoes and peppers and eggs. Probably even have a sliced mater. It's gonna be a nice nutritious meal before I go to work. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna shoot down to Shorewood Fitness for a crazy bench day. I think I get more motivated with that group. There's a lot more things to do, so try to get up early, have my shake, driving to Shorewood, and have a big workout live stream there. I'll probably stop at the grocery store on the way back, and go from there. So everybody remember, rest, nutrition, exercise, go for walks while the weather allows it. Research what you see on the internet. Don't fall for the propaganda. There's so much of it out there now. It's thicker than a stew. And don't blindly vote for somebody. And don't look about what they're promising you now. Look at their record. You know, they're all saints when it comes to election day. Then they revert back to what they normal are afterwards. And with that, I'll see you in the live chat.